friends, and today I'm going to be talking you through my journal ecosystem and basically what's worked, what hasn't worked this year, and what I'm changing up for 2026. So I'm also going to be showing you my new lineup for the new year. So these are basically all the journals, planners, Hobonichis that I use. I end up filling more than this up, so I will explain in a lot more detail and we'll take a little look at how I use all of these journals every single day. Okay, so first up we have this journal, which is maybe my favourite, to be honest. It's been with me the longest. I continue to use this every single year. And I also made myself this cute little journal charm to go on there as well. And I basically use this for, well, everything is my only way to describe it. So this has all of my memory keeping in, it has my reading spreads. It basically just holds any type of journaling that I want to do. So this year I have been able to complete all three of these, and I think that's because I just allow myself to put anything into this journal, as I said. So it's very mixed. We've got some like junk journaling spreads, memory keeping things, reading spreads. There's just loads of things going on in here basically. And I just keep using these inserts throughout the year, and I'll literally just put the date on them when I started them and then when I finish them, and then I just grab a new one. And I continue to use the exact same cover because it is refillable and it just seems silly to buy another cover for the sake of it. So it just gives me the freedom basically to journal whatever I want, whenever I want. And it's very satisfying as well to have all these inserts at the end of the year. I have many more because I've been journaling like this for, I'd say, nearly 3 years now. So I have quite a lot of these inserts. I tend to get through 3 a year, and I also continue them throughout the change into the new year. So for example, in this one, I started it on the 10th of November 2024, but then I'd only used like half of it by the end of the year, and I didn't want to waste it or just have a half empty journal. So I basically just added the date on a blank page, almost did a little cover page to show that it was a new journal. And then I had my goals for the new year, my 25 books for 2025. And then I just continued journaling as if I would in any other journal. And then once I finished it, I then just started my next one. And that's basically how it works. I find this way of journaling honestly the best way because it just doesn't limit you, and this is the most journaling I've ever done by keeping this system. So yeah, this is like my favorite journal, I guess, and my main and only journal currently that I do memory keeping, reading spreads, and basically anything in there. And also, if you want to grab yourself one of these little charms, I sell so many journal charms on my Etsy shop. So you can also get these little personalized ones too. So yeah, personally, I would really recommend having a journal system like this because it gives you freedom. It doesn't cost loads either. So 3 of these inserts cost me £13 on Amazon. So my main journal essentially cost me £13 a year because you only have to buy the cover once, and it has lasted me so long. Everything is still intact, and it just means I don't have to keep buying a brand new journal for the new year. So I really love having this collection of little inserts, and I feel like it's something that's going to be really just fun to look back as a little catalogue of my life, as they are all pretty much the same, but you can kind of see how they go through the seasons. And I just add a little sticker on the front to decorate, which I guess is quite simple, but I think it works quite well. Okay, so this is my bullet journal. I say bullet journal because I don't use it in the traditional sense of a bullet journal. I just have a few because I always get the Notebook Therapy Lucky Bag and they always send a bullet journal within that. So I always end up having a new bullet journal each year and it just seems silly to waste them. And because I have my YouTube, my Patreon, my Etsy shop and everything like that, in here, this is almost where I just scribble lots of notes down. And at the start of the year, I basically just do a little cute cover page just because it's fun. There's no other reason than that. And then after that, it's just lots of scribbles. So for example, here's like my Patreon stuff, and this is one that I only just started. So again, I don't start these at the beginning of the year, I just start them once they're full. This was the last one that I used, and again, it's literally just full of scribbles and things like that. But I find it so useful. I'm just somebody that has to like brain dump in a way and just get all my ideas out and plan everything. So this one took me 2 years to fill, I think. So that's why I've only just started this one. But yeah, I basically just use it as a giant notebook, essentially, just to get my ideas down, plan things out, like really big tasks and chunky things. And it just helps I get to do it in this really pretty journal as well, because it just looks so cute. And then this was my latest edition. So this was my first time using a Hobonichi Weeks or a Hobonichi at all, to be honest. I used to be a traveler's notebook girly, and then I switched to the Hobonichi in March this year, and now I'm obsessed with it, and I will be doing the same again next year. So this is for all my planning. I have like an exercise tracker in here. I also do, for my monthly spreads, I guess almost like a little bit of memory keeping. I didn't really know what to do in these, so I fill them with stickers and I add little photos. The photos that I add are basically just random pictures on my iPhone that I take throughout the month and things that aren't in my main memory keeping journal. So just little things, little snaps that I've taken. Honestly, they're mainly pictures of my cat, and this is just a really fun thing that I like to do, and I fill them up basically at the end of each month once I've got all my pictures. So I am planning on continuing this in the new year in my new Hobonichi Weeks. So see, I haven't done anything for my December one yet because I'll just fill it in at the end when I print all my pictures. And then I do my planning in my Hobonichi. I guess I have to plan a lot each day because I have a lot of things going on. And this is why I don't do any daily journaling in here, because as you can see, there is just not the space for it, to be honest. I need this space to plan. Sometimes I do lots of decorating, sometimes I don't. It honestly just depends. And this I use every single day, multiple times a day, without fail. And yeah, if I did not have this planning system, I don't know how my life would be together. So I really, really need this. Something else that I also document in my Hobonichi is I have this spread where I just scribble down things to journal, and those things end up in this journal basically. So I don't always journal in here straight away after I've done something because I just don't always have time. So I will scribble it in here so I don't forget it, and then I can just cross it off and go and fill it in. I also document in here all the books that I've read, so I literally just write them in a list, and I like to do this because I can basically see the amount of books that I've read because I've got my numbers, and yeah, it's just satisfying to have this list basically. And then obviously in my big journal, I will then do an actual reading spread for each book. So this one was Mate by Ali Hazelwood. We've got the Lightlock series. So I will do an entire spread about books. This is Nightshade, but I will just scribble it in here so I know that I've read it. And then I also started doing this year, adding in all of the book covers. And this just, because it looks really cute and it looks really satisfying to just see all the book covers together. So again, I'm going to continue this in my new Hobonichi because it was so much fun, and I always print the book covers to add in my reading spread, so I just print double whenever I print these out. So they just look really cute all together. I've basically got like another 5 books that I need to add, so I will be doing that. But yeah, they just look so cute as these little book covers. I don't rate my books really either, so I don't have any ratings on here. It is literally just so I can look at them. I call this my visual book spread, if you like. So yeah, that's how I use my current Hobonichi. So that's what I've used this year. Now I am changing things up a little bit for 2026. This is going to stay exactly the same because, as you can see, I've hardly got through it, so that is going to stay as it is until I fill it up. And then these are my 2 new journals. So this is going to stay. Obviously, I cannot see myself moving away from this journal foreseeable future because it just works so well for me and I love it. This is my current insert, and as you can see, I've hardly really filled anything up, so I'm probably going to end up doing the same as I did in my other one, where I'll just reset it inside this journal. So that's going to stay with this one. And then I've got my new Hobonichi weeks. I decided to get the mega this year because I wanted to try a couple of new spreads, and I do have a whole video of me setting this up on my channel if you wanted to check that out. I've continued the exercise tracker, but I've added some color codes to just organize it a little bit more. I will obviously continue my monthly spreads as normal, and then in my notes pages, I've got a few extra things going on. So I've got my things to journal as normal, my books read spread, which is where I'm going to write my list. I've also left lots of blank pages so I can do my visual books. But this year I'm going to also track my pen pal mail because I also do pen paling. So I'm just going to say basically when a letter comes in and when I send it out, so I can keep track if anything gets lost. And then I'm also going to be logging my running this year. So this way, hopefully it will encourage me to actually do more running and exercise. And then I have all these notes pages left, so I'm not sure what to do with those, but I'm sure I will do something with them. So yeah, this is my new one ready to go for 2026. Now this is my new Hobonichi. So this is actually the Hobonichi A6 Teco, but I did make myself a little journal cover, and I do have a whole video about that on my channel as well. And I think it turned out really cute and it fits so perfectly, and these little pockets are going to be really handy. But I basically really wanted to do just some small daily journaling this year because whenever I journal in here, it's usually like a big thing. I do also journal like just about random days. It doesn't always have to be a big event, but I was finding myself journaling more significant things, and whenever I'm journaling in here it tends to be after the day, and I wanted to do like that day journaling. I used to actually have a diary when I was a teenager that I kept religiously for 5 years, so I guess it's almost going to be doing that but with added memory keeping. Like I'm going to add little stickers, junk, and I also plan on adding photos because I have a new photo printer coming which I'm getting for Christmas. So I basically did a little tester in my spare Hobonichi pages because, as I said, I started this in May, so I had lots of spare pages and I decided to just test out some daily journaling. Obviously it's a bit of a different format because the sizing is different, but I essentially did it the same way that I would be planning on in my techo. And I had so much fun, basically, just sticking things down, being able to use my stationery, just documenting the little things I've been up to, things like the weather and how I was feeling. Some days I literally just did sticker dumps and didn't write anything. So there's not really going to be any pressure on what kind of journaling I do in here. Some days I might do really in-depth, just written journaling. Some days I might do a mix with pictures and stickers. And some days I might not want to journal anything, so I might just stick some stickers down, basically. So that is what the plan is going to be here. And as you can see, I've got a page for each day, and it is a bigger space to work with than in my Hobonichi weeks, or almost just like a different sizing. So yeah, I'm so excited to use this. I cannot explain to you. So this will be my new edition in 2026, and just something extra. You're probably not going to see much of this on my YouTube channel because I'm mainly going to be sharing it with my patrons each month in an exclusive video. But because as well I made this journal cover and it turned out so cute, I'm thinking of maybe making one for my Hobonichi weeks as well, just because it's just adorable. And I think it will be cute to have another cover. That's basically my journal lineup and planner lineup for 2026. I'm really excited for this edition, and I'm so happy to be continuing with these two. So you'll have to let me know what you're using this year. And if you are using the Hobonichi Weeks or Teco, let me know how you're using it, because as I said, I've got loads of spare pages and things I can add in there. And as I also said, I have no current plan for the monthly spreads in here. I don't know what to do with it. So if you have any ideas of how I can use this as a low pressure thing to record or document, or I might just do another sticker dump. Who knows what I'm going to do. But yeah, this is my lineup for 2026. So thank you for joining me today and listening to me ramble. If you enjoyed, then don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys very, very soon.